Do you feel like you really missed out on that opportunity to buy Square a while ago and take part in some of those gains that stock has had? I know I sold my shares way too soon. Once I got to $90 a share, I sold out of it because I made my money. I bought it at $30 a share. But hindsight's 2020, and if I didn't sell out of, I would have made a lot more money. But that's okay, because I think we might have another opportunity on the horizon. And that company is Affirm. So let's talk about their IPO. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Matt, and as I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to talk about Affirm's IPO coming up in 2021. Now, before we get started with that, not advice, don't take this as advice, all that good stuff. Also, if you like this video, hope you hit it with the like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, it's up to you. You can if you want to, I'm not here to tell you what to do. So odds are you've probably seen Affirm, but you might not know who they are. If you've done really any online shopping with companies such as DJI, Peloton, Purple Mattress, Walmart, or even one of the million Shopify stores, you might have seen the Affirm logo pop up. And that's because Affirm is a lender in the buy now, pay later space, which is a relatively newer concept. They allow customers to purchase items but break down the costs into payments, and sometimes they even allow for you to do so with no APR or no interest rate tied to it. So it's a very attractive offer if you want to buy like a Peloton bike that's $2,000 and don't really want to shell out $2,000 at once. You feel more comfortable maybe breaking that down into $500 payments over 4 months. They also even allow for people with no credit history to sometimes be approved for their credit service, allowing for people to really get a head start in building their credit report. A little fun fact here about Affirm as well is the founder, and I don't know how to say his name, I apologize, but I'll pop up a picture so you can see him, is also one of the co-founders of PayPal. Now, one of the very early investors in this company is also none other than Ashton Kutcher. You might be surprised to know if you haven't heard already, but nowadays Ashton Kutcher is actually a venture capitalist. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Affirm itself. So Affirm was founded in 2012. Over time, they've been able to partner with over 6,000 online retailers and has had over 5.6 million people use their service. As I mentioned earlier, they basically allow for people to make payments on high-ticket items over time. I've actually used their service before when I had somebody edit my resume for me a long time ago, and it was pretty easy to do. It was like $250 for me to get my resume like kind of redone, and I just made $50 payments over a course of time with no interest, which was a very nice incentive. And I think that's what makes this so attractive of a company, especially to the consumer, because having that ability to make payments is just a lot easier on the wallet, and if no interest is tied to it, that's a great feature. Also, they don't charge any late fees, which again is just an added bonus. But this almost sounds too good to be true. So how do they actually make their money? And that really comes from two ways. So not every time when you purchase something through Affirm are you going to get it for interest free, and the rates actually do range from 0% upwards of 30%. So be cognizant if you do use this as a service to see if you are getting that free interest rate or how high it would be. Now the other way, and I think the more exciting way that they make money, is they also receive a small commission from the merchants whenever you make a purchase using Affirm. Because basically what Affirm does is they buy that product for you and then you make the payments to them. And the reason why they're entitled to the small commission is because they're taking on the risk of somebody not paying back this product or paying this product in full. And sometimes they also connect the buyers with the sellers. So they can be a middleman, and also again, they're bearing the risks. So they are entitled to a small commission, which I think is going to be a great feature for them and really help them make their money back. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the IPO itself. And since this company is not public yet, we obviously don't really have the best financial information about them so far. But there's a few details that we can look into to help us make this decision as the stock is approaching its initial public offering. So rumors right now say that they're anticipating around a $5 to $10 billion valuation once they hit the public markets. And to put that in perspective, Square is just shy of an $80 billion market cap, and PayPal has around a $224 billion market cap. Now, I'm aware those companies have been on the markets for a while, especially PayPal, but taking that into consideration alone, if this hits at a $10 billion valuation, to me it already looks like it's going to be at a little bit of a discount. And even though those companies are very popular, we can even take a look at a company that does a similar line of business like Synchrony Financial, who has a $16 billion market cap. So again, that $5 to $10 billion valuation isn't really too off, and if anything could be a really good thing for investors to see. Now, to kind of stay on the topic of the valuation, I should mention that in April of 2019, they did have around a $2.9 billion valuation. So of course that raises the question of why do we have this dramatic increase in their valuation? And my theory has a lot to do with Shopify, actually. Earlier this year, Shopify announced that Affirm will be the exclusive partner for these payment systems, or these like credit systems. And obviously that's going to be a really good thing considering Shopify has over 1 million stores through their platform. But what I don't think many people know, or what might not be common knowledge, is that Shopify makes up actually about 30% of the e-commerce space. So all e-commerce, Shopify makes up 30% of that. Meaning that having a 30% edge over your competition is going to be a huge advantage for Affirm from their business side. And since this partnership has formed with Spotify, and really since the kind of lockdown has started, Affirm has come out and said that the demand for their service has quadrupled in just a few months. So this company is growing at a very rapid rate, which again, low valuation and high growth potential are great indications for me as the investor. Now, as I've said before though, IPOs are not really my favorite way to invest or my favorite product to invest in, because a lot of times it feels like as if we're going into the stock blind, because we haven't really seen that much about their performance or their history or their debt levels or anything along those lines. That said, this to me sounds like a very exciting opportunity. Now, I am a huge fan of the fintech space, so this one kind of fits right into my wheelhouse of things that I'm actually interested in and maybe a little bit more knowledgeable on, more so than things like John Deere. So this is one that absolutely is catching my interest. And even though I'm not really one to invest in IPOs, I'm also not one to miss out on a good opportunity, even though I did with Neo. That was my fault. But this is one that is absolutely going to be on my radar. And what I'm going to do, and what I suggest all of you do, is when this company comes public, or as we start to near the days of them hitting the public markets, try to find as much information about this company as you can. So they do have competition. Their competition is Afterpay. And see, who has a bigger advantage there. Maybe what is Afterpay's strategic advantage over Affirm, or how can Afterpay really create a level of competition for Affirm, and also see if this company could maybe be one to go through an acquisition. It wouldn't totally surprise me if Square or PayPal maybe threw in an offer to buy this company and put it under their branch. And these are kind of the news titles that I'm going to be looking for again as we start to get closer and closer to that date where it hits the markets. This to me though just really seems like a company that is going to be beneficial to the consumer. At the end of the day, those are the companies that I like to invest in, because you usually see companies that have really high approval ratings from their consumers tend to do the best. Obviously, if you have poor customer service, many people can access it, or if you have high fees, anything like that, people are going to stay away from your product. And I think Affirm is staying away from those negatives and creating a lot of positives for consumers, especially those that don't have credit history, which is a very large market. So one, I'm, again, very excited in. But as I said, short video today. My allergies are killing me. I've been raking leaves, and so I'm a little tired and probably sound a little nasally, so I apologize about that. And if you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts below on any of the other IPOs you might be interested in. I know that we have a few exciting ones, and I forgot to mention this earlier, so if you're still here, I'll throw this in. DoorDash also filed for an IPO, and they are getting around a $16 billion valuation. And, they're only burning through about $120 million a quarter. So put that in perspective. This is a fintech company that's obviously going to be making a lot of money and has a $5 to $10 billion valuation. DoorDash, $16 billion, Square, $80 billion, PayPal, $224 billion. So bear that in mind also when you're looking at this stock. Anyway, again, hope you like this video. If you enjoy this content, I hope you maybe consider subscribing or something, maybe liking it, leave a nice friendly comment saying, hey, that was cool. Anything like that just makes me happy. Always puts a smile on my face to see all the positive feedback from all of you. That said, I am going to wrap up here because, again, I'm pretty nasally right now. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. You could be anywhere in the world, and guess what? You're right here with me, and I really appreciate that. But I'll let you go ahead, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow for a Watchlist Wednesday. So stay tuned for that as well.